Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everybody doing this lovely Wednesday afternoon? Hope everybody's having a great time. Thanks for joining me this evening. My name is Melissa Mully Tabor, and I am the host of Managing Your Healthcare Benefits. And for those who don't know about me, I'm giving you a little bit about me, history about myself. I have a background in healthcare, revenue cycle. Sorry, forgot to close that door. I have a background in healthcare revenue cycle, and you see all kind of office stuff in here, right? And this week we are going to be talking about health care benefits for the eyes, right? I have a lot of stuff going on. So if we are ready to get into it, jump into it, we can start to talk about it. Well, I finished playing with my screen, right? So now, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing everybody needs to understand is when we begin to talk about eye benefits, there are two kinds of physicians that treat eyes, right? Optometrists. That's the first one we're going to talk about, right? Optometrists treat the most common issues that affect your eyes, right? B side of that, there are ophthalmologists. Ophthalmologists are actually medical doctors or doctors of osteopathic medicine. A lot of people did not really realize there is a difference between ophthalmologist and optometrist, but there is a big, major, humongous difference between the two. And one primary difference between the two is that the ophthalmologist actually went to medical school and is really a medical doctor, where a optometrist went to a school such as the Southern College of Optometry, and they really don't, not really, not we're not going to say they aren't a real doctor. It's just that they can't do the same thing as a MD does because they're not really a licensed physician, right? They're only limited. They can only diagnose and treat most common issues, like they may say you have pink eye, and they may tell you have this. But outside of eyeglasses or contact lenses, optometrists cannot prescribe you anything. So we just want to make sure everybody understands before we go any further. There's the optometrist, right? Like the Southern College of Optometry, they just do routine eye exams and tell you what's wrong, right? Where the ophthalmologist is a real doctor. They went to medical school. They have experience and training in that. Okay. So now let's talk about why you would go to an ophthalmologist, right? A lot of people don't realize there are tons of medical conditions that can impact your vision, and that they cannot be treated by optometrists, ladies and gentlemen. They can only be treated by an ophthalmologist, right? So I can talk about the first one specifically for example, thyroid disease. I used to work at LSU Eye Center in New Orleans, which was a teaching institute, and I worked for orbital and oculoplastic surgeon. Now, thyroid eye disease, and I'm not sure how the body works, AP and all of that works, but there are times if you have thyroid disease, it can cause your eyes to bulge out, right? I can tell you with 100% certainty that's called thyroid orbitopathy, right? It's because whatever that condition is going on with your thyroid, that's causing your eyeballs to pop out. So when you look at people, you see they have big bug eyes. You say, oh my God, why their eyes so big, or why their eyes look like they're popping out of their head? A lot of times those people may be suffering from thyroid disease, right? And so just let's not judge everybody we see so quickly, because people can have medical conditions that can cause that issue as well. Okay. Now, the other medical condition we have on the screen is diabetes. Well, now diabetes affects us all the way around, all kind of medical conditions, right? But diabetes will cause glaucoma. Okay. Now, Glaucoma is that disease of the eyeball and all that thing. So at that point, if you have diabetes, you really should be making sure, thyroid disease, you really should be making sure you're getting your annual eye exams, because that's really, really going to be important. Because in addition to these conditions, thyroid disease, diabetes, or high blood pressure, we also have what's commonly known, and if you all don't know about it, it's called age-related macular degeneration. Wow. What is that? Age-related macular degeneration. That's when, by default, has nothing to do with you. You're just aging. And so as a result, you are actually causing your eyes is actually losing by default. Think about this. Every year when it gets closer to your birthday, your vision gets a little bit better. I'm sorry, your vision decreases. My apologies. Think about it. Every year when it gets closer to your birthday, the first thing you say, oh, wait, man, my eyes, what's wrong with my eyes? I just want you to think about that. Every year you'll notice it, and you'll begin to go on and go on. And at that point, you'll realize, oh my gosh, I'm getting old. No, we all get old, and everyone has age-related macular degeneration. It just happens. There's nothing you could do to stop it. There's nothing you can do to prevent it. However, those medical conditions that you have, and that's why it's so important, ladies and gentlemen, if you have certain medical conditions, these are just a few of them. If you have certain medical conditions, you really, really need to make sure you are following your doctor's advice, and doing exactly what they tell you to do, and taking your medications. Because the one thing that you don't want to do is lose your vision. That is a extremely difficult, major, life-changing experiences, right? Then y'all know I love to talk about my brother Alan. Due to no fault of his own. Ironic. I'm going to tell y'all something ironic. How he lost his vision. He actually had a stroke in his eye. Go ahead and say, no, Melissa, there's no way you making that up. Nope. I cannot make that up. There was nothing wrong with him. He did suffer from hypertension. So there we go, that high blood pressure, that last one. He did suffer from hypertension, versus when a lot of people have strokes, we're customarily seeing one side of their body decline, or they get handicapped, or they lose some type of functionality. Well, with my brother's case, with his stroke associated with his hypertension, he actually lost his vision. So y'all out here think it's a joke about not taking your medication or not doing what you're supposed to do to get covered. I'm just going to tell you this. Do what the doctors say do, right? And while we're here, I'm going to tell you a funny story. Believe this or not. When I was in New Orleans before I came to Memphis, I was actually working at LSUI Center, which is a world-renowned teaching institute. They have residents and fellows. Well, in 1994, just before I came to Memphis, back then, that's when they still had Diet Cokes and drinks in a bottle. I had a Diet Coke. I got out of the car. I dropped the bottle broke, bounced up, and it truly, actually, literally cut half of my cornea off, and I had scars in my face. What I want you to understand is that an optometrist could not fix the condition that I had. I actually had a traumatic eye injury, which required surgery. So at that point, the physicians who I was working for, funny, huh? The physicians that I was working for, ladies and gentlemen, at that time, actually had to perform medical eye surgery on me. Okay? Now, that's when it get crucial. You're saying, well, okay, Melissa, if you had to have eye surgery, did your eye benefits cover it, or did your medical benefits cover it? In this case, my medical benefits covered it, ladies and gentlemen, because it was an actual accident. It was an injury. It had nothing to do with vision. It wasn't a routine care. It wasn't anything. It was just a freak traumatic accident that happened, just like, wow, oh my gosh, yes, like that, right? So now we look at, well, okay, Melissa, if your medical benefits covered that, What do my eye benefits cover? Oh, that is a very good question, ladies and gentlemen. Your eye benefits, most plans, ladies and gentlemen, do not have a deductible. And they typically cover the cost of eye exams, prescription eyeglasses, and or contact lens. Now, I want you to think about this for a minute. We're back to this again. Ophthalmologist, optometrist, right? When I had my emergency surgery, that required, ladies and gentlemen, an ophthalmologist. When I need my annual eye exam or my routine eye exam that I have on an annual basis, then what I do with those is, ladies and gentlemen, we take care of that. Hey, thank you very much. Oh, T Woods, thanks. One of our good friends, T Woods, she put in the chat. She said that glaucoma, cataract, retinal detachment, age-related macular degeneration are all worsened by diabetes. So let's go back up there. Let's go back up there for a minute, and I'm going to put on there. Then I'm going to read you what T said. We're talking about this. So T Woods, who's one of my good friends, she's a nurse, and she put in the chat. I just want to share this and reiterate what she's saying. Understand, listen very carefully. Glaucoma, cataracts, retinal detachment. That's when, you see floaters and stars. If you see stars in your eyes, I know a little bit. Remember, I used to work for ophthalmologists. I was more than a pretty face and typing letters. I did learn a little something. If you're seeing floaters or stars or flashing lights like that, you may have something going on. Oh, and she said, believe it or not, how I talked about everybody has age-related macular degeneration. Well, guess what? She says, if you're a diabetic, age-related macular degeneration can be even more crucial for you, right? So let's talk about some things, right? Back to these benefits. What are you really paying for? Okay. And we want to make sure we understand the difference between routine eye exam when we're using those eye benefits and when there's a true medical condition and you're using your medical benefits. Unfortunately, because my brother is blind, he is a perfect, scenario story that we can use in my examples this afternoon. So for me, I just go to the optometrist. I get my once a year exam. I get my eyeglasses and I go home. It's a perfect world. That's when I use my eye benefits. It's all good. It's all fine. However, my brother Alan, I guess that's HIPAA, but he don't mind me saying his name because he want to be famous anyway. My brother Alan, right? When he goes to the eye doctor, he does not go to an optometrist. He actually goes to an actual MD physician. And ladies and gentlemen, depending on what is going on, right? There's also a neuro-ophthalmologist. And because he had a stroke, his vision is impacted by the little neurons and protons that's all in your brain and your head, that's all working together. His is impacted a lot by that. And so we always have to say, well, Melissa, I hear all of this stuff you saying, okay? You drew the line in the sand for me. You told me that I should go to an optometrist, right? I'm going to make it plain that you should go to an optometrist to get your regular eye exam. If you have medical conditions such as glaucoma or retinal detachment or retinopathy or something like that. Oh, I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to tell y'all something else before we get away from here. I used to work for an ophthalmic plastic surgeon. Okay. So for those ladies out there who want to know, if you want to get these eyes lifted, right? No, you don't go to a regular ophthalmologist for that. You're going to go to an orbital and oculoplastic surgeon. That's called a ptosis repair, right? They'll go in there, they'll check your vision, they're going to do some stuff. Now, ptosis repair is covered If it's impacting your visual fields, meaning it's sagging so much that it's causing to impact your visual fields, well, that ptosis repair will be covered under your medical. But if you just want cosmetic surgery to look beautiful, then no, that's a no. They're not gonna do that. That plastic surgeon to say, yeah, I'll do it, but it's gonna always be a small cost. Now, here's the number one thing that hits everybody in America. I want everybody who can agree with me with this next thing. I want y'all to put in the chat. You know what? Agreed. Just type the word agreed. You know what? I always forget to get my eyes examined. I'm going to need to see the chat light up. I'm going to need everybody to put agreed in there. Well, T Woods probably go and get her eyes examined every year because she remember. But let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, those that are watching. Do you remember to get your eyes examined every year? Probably not. You know why? Because in your mind, you're thinking the eye gas prescription you had from last year will be sufficient the current year. Thank you, Aaron, for agreeing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a half truth. That prescription that you have this year may or may not work depending on how much age-related macular degeneration you're experiencing, how much the medical condition you have is impacting your vision, right? Because remember this, those eye benefits, ladies and gentlemen, they're not a lot, right? Somebody tell me, I think when I enrolled, I think I paid like $9 a month, $8 a month, something like that. Oh, but the return on the investment, I cannot even begin to tell you the return on the investment. Erin said this year was the first time she's been in 3 years and her prescription changed. Right. And Erin, I'm sure it changed drastically over the course of 3 years. Right. And because understand, when you get those benefits, you are entitled. We're not going to talk about Medicare right now, but just your routine benefits, you're entitled to at least one eye exam a year, if not every other year, because depending on your age, that's really going to determine whether or not or how much your vision has changed, right? So now, how can I remember? Let me help you. That's why I'm here, to help you manage those benefits, right? For those people who remember to get their eye exams done, kudos to you. For those who have sometimes a tendency to forget, one thing we like to do in healthcare is we like to use milestones as reminders, right? Think about this. We use milestones as reminders. We always remember stuff. So you can use a milestone and set that milestone and say, every year on this particular day, I'm going to get my eye examined. And so milestones you can use: your birthday, your anniversary, your grandson's birthday, your niece's birthday, the day you got married. There are so many options. Erin is a newlywed. Erin can use the day she got married. She's a newlywed. She might have wanted to go every year on Chase's birthday to make sure she sees him, right? So you just have to find what works for you. But if you're paying for this benefit, which most of us are, you need to make sure you go there at least once a year. Decide which milestone works for you and use that milestone for all of your events, right? And we're going to talk about some of those later, right? So now you say, okay, Melissa, you got it clear. I understand my benefits. I understand my benefits, right? I don't have a deductible. They're going to cover my eye exam and my prescription glasses, right? We said we're going to use milestones and events as reminder to set appointments. Now, the $1 million question becomes is, should you see an optometrist or an ophthalmologist, right? I am not here to tell you which provider of service is best for you. Before you determine if you need an optometrist or an ophthalmologist, is the very first thing you have to do is look at your benefits, because your benefits will tell you the providers that you can go to, as well as the type of frames you're entitled to, the number of packs of contact lenses you can get, and all of those good kinds of stuff. So for those routine visits, people generally go to see an optometrist. Now, beside of that, when should I go to an ophthalmologist? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to go to that ophthalmologist if you have a medical condition. So, for all my friends out there with diabetes and hypertension, if you have not been seeing an ophthalmologist, you may want to talk to your primary care physician and say, hey, do I need to go see an ophthalmologist, or am I okay with just seeing an optometrist? Right? Now remember, the name of this show is Managing Your Benefits. So now there's an additional benefit a lot of us pay for. A lot of us use it. It comes out of our paycheck every week. Bam, here it is. FSA, Flex Spending Account, or HSA, Health Spending Account. Can I use it for my eyeglasses or my contact lenses? And the answer to the question is yes, ladies and gentlemen, but let me be specific right here for a moment. FSA is specifically for those copays associated with eyeglasses and contact lens, right? FSA is very limited in what you can use that for, okay? However, on the flip side, you want to use that for, you can use it for contact lens, eyeglasses, I don't know, right? Like I said, oops, sorry about that technical difficulty. So I'm going to say that again just in case y'all missed it. FSA has limited benefits, but FSA, ladies and gentlemen, is strictly intended to assist with those additional costs associated with copays that's associated with eyeglasses, dentists, and a few other things. Now, your HSA works the same way. However, your HSA health spending account has a broader span of things that you can use for coverage for. So now I'm going to tell you one thing I know for fact with 100% certainty. What the HSA, your health spending account, covers, right? Let me give you a little quick backstory to help you figure out how I got here, right? I'll give you a backstory, tell you how I got here. Okay. I hope I'm unfrozen. So I went to my optometrist and he said, Melissa, you have one or two options. You can get a prescription eyeglasses. I can write you a prescription, or B, you can get Pullman glasses. Well, what's Pullman glasses? Pullman glasses is when you go to the dollar store, Walgreens, or one of those, and you buy some readers, right? And you just go there, and I don't have to worry about my eyeglass or prescription. He said, because you just really needed 2+ readers. So you can go to Walgreens and get you some Pullman readers and put them on the end of your nose and look up and do that. And then you fine. That's what's called Pullman readers. So I didn't know that. And the optometrist told that. So, hey, I learned something that day. Now, I'm going to tell you something else I learned about HSA, the health spending account. Ladies and gentlemen, in the favorite words of TD Jakes, get ready, get ready, get ready. Excuse me, I have to walk away and get something to show y'all because y'all are not getting ready to believe what I'm about to show y'all. Remember, I told y'all how much I'm addicted to eyeglasses. And a couple of weeks ago, I showed y'all all the eyeglasses that I got from Zulu. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, wait a minute, wait a minute. Look at this. Look at this. Look. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see this? Can y'all see this? Okay. So why I'm showing you that? The reason why I'm showing you that, ladies and gentlemen, is because I purchased all of those glasses online using my health spending account from Zulu. Yes, HSA. Now, if anybody out there in TV land have a FSA that they can use, y'all share that with me. Say, Melissa, I could use my FSA. I don't know about that, but I'm going to tell you this. Remember when the doctor told me about Pullman readers? So guess what? I use my SHA, and I'm the most fashionable person with all of these Pullman readers on that you would not believe, right? Oh, I sure do. I have a pair for every outfit because y'all know I'm extra. I just have to make sure that everybody knows I have a pair for every outfit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to come to this close for the evening, y'all throw me some questions in there. What do you have about eye questions about your benefits? How are they working for you? And now what I want you to remember, while that little $8 or $9 that they're taking out of your check, it doesn't seem like a lot. You know, you multiply 8 times 12. That's exactly right. I can't do it, but y'all do the math. Y'all know exactly what I'm saying, because one thing we like to talk about and make sure everybody understands, if you're going to have benefits, you need to use them. Have you seen them? Understand this, ladies and gentlemen, many more than you could ever imagine children, one of their common problems in school is because they can't see. I know y'all say, no way, Melissa. Yes, way. Yes, way. People want to send these kids to the slow class or have them take special tests to find out what's going on with them. Well, what's really going on with them, ladies and gentlemen, is they're having challenges with their vision and they can't see. And so some kids sit really close to the board. So if you're a parent or a grandparent and you're out there in TV land and you're watching, you know, if you're noticing your grandson or your granddaughter, she's squinching or trying to see or doing different things, you know, she's trying to get close to the board. She actually, you know, teacher, if they're sitting close to the board or they're sitting too far away from the board, is it a reason that they just cannot see the board, right? And so sometimes because children are afraid or they're embarrassed, they don't know what people are going to think about them if they say they can't see the board. Y'all know children. Come on, we were all kids once. Who wants to say they can't see? But kids don't realize that's key to survival, your vision. So parents out there in TV land and friends and cousins and everybody, if you know anybody, make sure you're getting their eyes checked. Miss Geraldine, I see you still here. Make sure Camille is taking that baby to get his eyes checked every year, because that is really critical, right? So now T Wood says, yes, she ended up getting glasses at 10 years old because of her school teacher, right? So the school system, they do a lot of things. They do a lot of things. And one of the things is sometimes they have to be mama and catch those things that us mothers sometimes have a tendency to miss, right? And so now she started wearing glasses at 10 years old, and she's been wearing them ever since. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I am at about the end of time for this evening. I hope you all have enjoyed this, talking about eye benefits, because guess what? Y'all know if we're going to have these benefits, we may as well use them, right? Now, I know sometimes we forget and we say, well, Melissa, I be forgetting stuff, and I just want you to tell me sometimes, you know what? Send your questions here. Last week we talked about pharmacy. You saw that pharmacy podcast. You have some pharmacy questions, how your pharmacy benefits are working, are they covered, or just any healthcare questions in general. Send them here. I am more than happy to help you discuss those benefits and how they work and how they're going to be impacted. Now, I know everybody want to know what our topic is going to be next week. You ready for this? You ready for this? Our topic next week is going to be talking about, I'm jumping somewhere all the way to the extreme. You're going to be like, where's she coming from with this? All the way to the extreme, right? Topic next week, we're going to be talking about end of life benefits. Melissa, you got to be crapping on me. Nope. No, I'm not. End of life benefits, because you need to understand when you are at the end stage of life, your medical benefits have certain ways they interact. Now, I just want to say thank you for joining. Stay tuned, send in your questions, and I will see you all next week. Bye. Thanks for tuning in.